when we create our ad, so the first thing after the ad creation that comes in front of us as an obligation, not obligation, as a test is our ad is going to approve or not. Once we are done with our ads, when we create our copies, and once you are done with the bidding amount and all these things, after that, Google review the ads. The ad we created, the copies we added, the types of keywords, and what is all about the ad. So they review it. Once they review, after their approval, then our ad will get published. If they reject it, then our ad will not get published, even though you spend huge amount on that. That doesn't matter. But if you violate the policies of Google, then they will want to show your ad to the public. Okay, so it is important to understand what are the policies of the Google ads, so that by keeping these things in our mind, we can create our ad, and by this we can also understand what type of business can be go for Google ads. Okay, so in this section, we will learn about the policies, what are type of our content are prohibited, what are the practice that we should avoid, and what type of content are restricted on Google Ads, editorial and technicals, and what is the format of Google Ad, what is the actual format that is required for Google Ads. And it is important to understand that you are going to open a shop in a particular place, and you are selling something in a particular area where the government restricted that product, so you can't sell that. That's why Google have to just go through with the policies of the government, the policy of the state, so that they don't violate the policies of that particular area. For example, there are many states in India where you cannot sell liquid alcohol. So if you have any liquid brand or any kind of beverage brand, and if that particular beverage is not, the government should ban that. So if government already banned that product, you cannot sell that. And if you cannot sell it, that means you cannot show the ads. And Google have to maintain this policy. So why this policy? There are so many reasons, because Google have their own images as well. If Google show unrelevant ads or ad like that violate the policy of that particular country or state, that violates the ad that violates human rights, that ad that are harmful, hazardous for the audience, for the people, that means Google are harming the society. So Google don't want to just break the image that they have. So on policy perspective, they have their images, so they have to maintain that dignity in their company, and they have to dignity the brand name of Google. That's why they are very sincere about what type of ad you are going to show there. Okay, and along with that, yeah, okay. So how they evaluate? There are two types of evaluation. After your ad it is completed, they take it as a review, and there are two types of review. First is automatic, that the AI does, and after that the human evaluation. After the human evaluating that, then your ad will be approved. After the approval, your ad will be published. So it is important to understand what type of content is prohibited in Google Ads, so that we don't use on that, and we don't show these type of content on our ads. If we are showing some things like that that are prohibited in Google Ads, and we are using that type of content in our ad copies, in our ad, so it is just a waste of time, because you are keep working on that and you are just spending money, but Google will not approve that. It's a waste of time. So before just starting that, you should understand what is the policy, what is the exact rule that you should follow to work on Google Ads. So what type of content prohibited in Google Ad? Product that are counterfeit. That means you are using the trademark of someone else. For example, There are so many copies of big brands, and they just copy in a similar way that looks like the same. For example, Puma shoes. There is another brand which has almost that was not brand. Puma is a brand, but someone is making a copy of that brand, and they are using the logo, and the name of the brand is Puna. This is real. I saw that product, I saw that shoes, and the price of those shoes are very low as compared, and the quality of that product is also not good. But they are using other trademark because Puma has a brand and they want to sell through that brand. So what they did, they name it Puna and or any kind of name, and they use the same, almost same trademark that Puma has. So Google don't allow that. If you are doing such kind of things on Google Ad, you will be banned and your ad not will be published. So you have to just understand products that are counterfeit. You should avoid that. Okay, you should use the original things that you have. Don't copy or don't use anyone else trademark or logo. Hazardous goods and services. As I talked about, hazardous goods are anything like if you are in the pharmaceutical business and that particular drug is harmful and you are still selling that, that is harmful for the society and the people. For example, if you are just selling sleeping pills and you are giving ads of sleeping pills, then definitely someone who is has who want some kind of things, they can easily buy from that. But let's suppose someone who has a mind that who someone who's suffering from depression and they are looking for ways for suicide. So what is the first thing? They will go for sleeping pills. In medical store, sleeping pills are not easily available. They don't sell without the prescription of authorized doctor. But if you are selling something like that, if you are selling some kind of drug, some kind of weeds, or any harmful thing, or any like dynamite things, then these are the categories that comes in the hazardous goods and services that are banned in Google. Google don't allow these things. That simply understand that the damage or harm or generate people, these are the product that are banned on Google. So you have to promote product that is good for people, that add values, not damage, harm, or anything to that. Yes, dangerous content example means drugs, chemical herbals, and all these things, explosive material, fireworks, and all that. Permitting dishonest behavior. What is the meaning of that? Like you are selling some kind of course, for example, that teaches you how to hack systems. You are just adding a link on your ad that causes cheating. There are so many fraud happening nowadays in India that related to online. They just say something, they provide you a link, and that link redirects you in your UPI app, and after few clicks you will be get fraud and your entire money will be banished from your account. So such type of things, such type of dishonest behavior is not allowed in Google. They will not promote such services. That's why they just run approval before your ad was published. Because if the approval barrier was not there, then definitely so many people is publish their ad and they will get huge number of money, huge amount of money. How? Because people are there. Let's suppose someone make an ad copy like click on this link and your money will be get doubled. So many people will still on 2023 will get trapped on such things, and people are still doing that in a other kind of way. They are just promoting some other service, and through that they are asking for money, and people are paying for that in the hope of they will get good returns. But Google understand that this behavior is not good. These kind of things are under the category of fraud. That's why hacking, making a forgery of documents, and all these things are comes under this kind of behavior. And for example, you are you have someone who know how to copy the actual documents, how to make fake documents, fake degrees, and a fake passport. So will you publish any kind of ad? Definitely not. No one will do that. But Google also has a quality check for that thing. If someone is promoting such kind of things, they will ban them and their ad will be not in the eyes of public. So their ad will be not published. So product or services that enable dishonest behavior include hacking, definitely software, service designated to inflate ad or website traffic, or forgery of documents and academic cheating services. That simply means dishonest behavior means something that promoting cheating. So these three kinds of content that are not allowed in Google, and you should avoid these things. And definitely, so many business are there, but not any kind of business are there on Google's. And I'm sure, damn sure about that. No one is going to make ad for such things. So no issue. Prohibited practices. So the previous section was prohibited content. What type of content is not allowed, and this section is about what type of practices are not allowed. Okay, so abusing the advertising network. So what is Google? Google is just an bridge between you and the visitors, and it works as a bridge where visitors can come to your website. So if you are using that bridge for harming people for your personal benefit, so Google will not tolerate such kind of things. Like you are uh, promoting any kind of malware or antivirus, not antivirus, virus. So you are promoting virus and your website cause such kind of things. You are just stealing data. All these things are not allowed in Google, and Google AI can easily understand that by analyzing all the things, because everything in the Google, not in the Google, but they have huge number of tools, console, calls that understand the deepness of the website and the links that you are targeting, and they track everything. Okay, so they can understand what are the things you are doing and what are the things happening in your website. All the things they will analyze and definitely ban you for lifetime. Data collection and utilization. So when you are just showing ad, you are collecting data as well. You have good number of data of various people, like their financial status, their sexual orientation. These are the personal information that you have. On the basis of that, you are showing ads to them. Okay, all the things is automated, but in some ways you have that data. So you should use that data in a responsible way. And when I'm saying you have that data, it doesn't mean you have that data in your system. For example, you can target people who belongs to LGBTQ easily by display ad. Okay, but what you are doing, you are just targeted that people with an ad that cause harmful to them. Okay, you are just blaming or abusing them through that ad and targeting them particularly. So this is the practices that are not allowed in Google. Getting the point? You don't have the data, but you have the ability to target that particular section of visitors, and you're targeting with an abuse. So these are the things are not allowed. So definitely, what are the examples? Sexual orientation, financial status, and all these things are not allowed in Google. And one more thing is the type of ideology they have. You cannot target on that basis. What ideologies that they follow and what type of political party they support. These are the things that you don't touch, not in the perspective of Google, but in your personal life as well. Don't target, don't abuse anyone on the basis of these things. You have some ideology, that's okay. They have some other ideology, that's totally okay. And as a business person, as a marketer, you should always keep these things in mind. Don't touch or don't get your hands on these kind of things, like targeting people on uh, basis of caste, creed, or anything like that. Okay, if you are a good marketer, if you are a really good businessman, then you don't have to worry about all these things. The only thing matter is the number of sales and number of conversions. Okay, so we don't have to worry about these things. Misinterpretation. So misinterpretation simply means we want to use Misinterpretation simply means you are selling a product, and I give you an example of Puma. So basically, if any kind of ad run by a particular seller, and they say they have a quality product, they have original brand like Puma, and their selling product is Puna. What is this? They are just misrepresenting the things. They are misrepresenting the actual fact that they don't have Puma, but they have any other copy. Okay, this is the example of misrepresentation. What you are representing is a fake thing, and it is not real. Okay, so there are many other example as well, like in financial services, you can people can fraud you on the basis of financial services, like they are selling, if you invest on such kind of things on our services, you will get interest of 6% or 8%, but when you really invest on that, you are getting only 4%. This is misrepresentation, and Google can understand these things easily because Google track everything. The eyes of Google is everywhere, especially when we talk about the internet, and making offers that aren't really actual available, making misleading or unrealistic claim about weight loss or financial gain. And many people are doing this, not in Google, but in other ways. They are just claiming, like, I was doing a job for 3 years, but then I just figure out this rule of stock market, and now in 1 year I am a crorepati. So what is this? This is a type of misleading, and people are getting trapped on these things. So Google are try to avoid these things always. And I will show an example as well. Like people are selling their courses. Okay, they are selling on the courses. On the basis of that, they earned a great amount of money using this technique. But why Google is still showing their ad? Because Google cannot track these things. Google cannot just track how much money I have in my bank account. If I claim that I have this much money in my bank account, but how Google will track? Google have don't have the accessibility to my bank account. So that's why Google trusts that the person is not doing any kind of forgery. They are selling their courses, and they are delivering the uh, content on that. So that's why Google run the ad for these people who claim unrealistic things. Okay, so you will see in Google ad there are multiple coaches on the internet that claim unrealistic things, but their ad is available, and you may think that yeah, these are the misrepresentation. But why Google is showing that? Because Google cannot track all these things. Google track things that are available on your website, on the internet, on your interest and the behavior you have, but it cannot track the your bank account and your like for weight loss. Google cannot track that what was your weight 6 months back and what is your weight right now. As per now, it cannot track, but I am damn sure in the AI is growing with a speed that one day it will be also available, so that by analyzing your picture, by analyzing your video format, Google can understand what's your weight, height, and all these things. So for now, that's why you may see misrepresentation at sometimes, but these are the coaches, or these are the people who are not misrepresented the content. They are just giving the services that they promises, but the claim they make, it may be. I'm not saying all the people who are just selling courses are wrong. There is a chance they may be the provide unrealistic claims, and the claim they are providing is wrong. So there is a chance. So restricted content and features. Definitely, Suman, that online courses are very popular these days because they are just showing and hope to the public. And if Google understand that this person is making forgery, this person is not providing the services that they claim on the advertisement, then definitely their ad will be banned. But what happens is someone's come to the screen, they talked about that I will give you this kind of technique so that you can grow your money. So they sell the courses and you brought that courses and you apply those things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it may not. So there's no problem. Google don't have any problem for these things because they promise it that they will provide in content, they will provide the course, and they did. So on the perspective of Google Ads, they are doing so. So what are the content that are restricted? We talked about which are prohibited and which are restricted, almost the same things. But you have, when you talk about the restriction, then the content that is totally prohibited, and there's a content that you can show, but with a restriction. So this is the basic difference of restriction and prohibition. If we talk about prohibited content, that means you cannot show their ad. And when we talk about restricted content, that means you can show the ad, but not to everyone, but with some kind of restriction. For example, there are some ads which are only applicable for 18 plus people, or teenagers who are more than who are um, above 18 years of age. And it belongs like if you are selling some kind of sexual product or some kind of anything that only belongs to 18 plus, then these type of content should only be targeted to people who are 18 plus. So definitely sexually explicit material is only applicable if the if the user is 18 plus, because you cannot show sexual ad to kids. That means someone who is below 18 years, you don't have to show such kind of that. And Google understand this policy well, like some kind of visible private parts or hookup dating sites, sex toys, all these things are restricted with certain things. And definitely some people can just use Google features as well. You can use Chrome features, and you don't want these kind of things. And that's why in mobile phone as well, there is a parental control where parents can just set the things, what would be visible in the screen when their kids using phone. Because nowadays small kids of 2 3 or 4 years are using the phones. They know how to use the phone, how to use the application. So that's why it is very important that these kind of kids don't get targeted by such kind of ad, because they don't understand all these things, and it will definitely, in perspective of society, it's harmful things. So that's why it is very important. If you are just you have any kind of material like this, so only show to people who are 18 plus. Alcohol, because alcohol have various and different rule as per as the country and in states. As I give you an example that in India, alcohol is banned in few states, not in entire country, but in few states. So what happened, as per the Google location data, they want to add of beverages and alcohol to that particular state. Okay, if you have alcoholic brand, definitely you can publish the ad. But if you are targeting the entire country, then your ad won't be shown in particular state, which is that brand alcohol and all these things. And what other thing that comes in this segment is beer, wine, say, spirit of hard alcohol, champagne, and non-alcoholic beer. All these things comes with this segment. Copyright, this thing that important to understand if you are in the marketing industry. So whatever you are using is totally original, not plagiarized. What that means, if you are using someone else copy, that means you are violating the copyright rule. Okay, so what it says, we follow local copyright laws, protect the rights of copyright holder. Hmm. In all the perspective, like if you are creating content for video format as well, so always try to make the original content, because if you are using a copyrighted clip on your ad. So the actual person who have that copy, that means the copy belongs to that particular, the original owner of that copy, can claim to you and can cause you legal damage. They can claim that because the actual copy belongs to them, and that's why so many of YouTubers get copyright strike. And if they get strike 3 times, then their channel will be deleted. So this is a very sensitive thing. So many people is using any other content, any other copies very easily. But if the original owners claim that copy, then definitely you will face many problems in legal perspective as well. They can claim, as per the law, they can claim some kind of like benefit from you. For example, there was a case of someone, a big celebrity, claimed the copyright of his father's poem on any poet of India. So that poet has just to delete that video from YouTube, and he just sent the money as well that he earned from that particular video because he uses the poem of any other poet. So these are the things that we should understand as well. Games and gamblings. Nowadays, games and gambling ads are coming, but if you have such kind of client or if you are promoting these services, so you have to make sure that these are under restriction. So you don't have to promote gambling in where it is banned, because if some states ban these things and you are trying to sell, you are trying to show ad to those people, they won't see because Google will restrict that thing. Like in just like alcohol, there are so many states that allows lottery tickets. Okay, there are states in India where you can sell or buy the lottery tickets, but at the same time, there are some states that don't allow such things. Okay, like casino businesses are allowed in some state, but not everywhere. So you have to understand that which thing is approved for particular area. That's why, in the perspective, in the big perspective, broad perspective, as a marketer, you should always understand the factors which affect your businesses. As you have a gambling or games business, so it is important to understand what are the areas where you can promote, what are the areas where your service can be applicable. Okay, like someone is asking, like there are so many services, there are so many apps that are promoting gambling apps. Definitely they are promoting, they are the brand ambassador, but they just showing the disclaimer as well. They are not doing any kind of fraud, they're just showing that these ads can be addictive as well. When you just come to their disclaimer, you can easily see that they mention these things. And why these are is still approved by Google? Because they are not doing any kind of forgery. They are just showing the things that this is an app you can play here, and some apps also you can download and you can play for free without just putting your money into that. So everything on that is clear. And still I think if you have casino business, you can show casino ads for particular area but not everywhere. But this is a gaming segment, so you can do that. But alcohol is a physical thing, so that if the law says you cannot sell alcohol, so alcohol ad will be banned. If you have casino and that particular state not allow casino, your ad won't be shown. But if you have games and an application, so that particular state have no law or legal action for that particular games or application. That's why these apps or these applications are applicable, and it belongs to the restricted content. You have to understand that it is not prohibited, but you cannot claim unrealistic things on that ad. And definitely, when we talked about Google ad copies or the advertisement, that also include the when someone click on the link and they comes to the landing page. So the landing page information is also responsible for all these things, and it should be authentic and not fake or not unrealistic that cause you harm in perspective of your business. Healthcare and medicine is also is a part of restricted content because these are the sensitive things. uh, let's suppose if you are selling any kind of medicine that is sensitive, and by mistake someone else take it, so it may take their life. So it is very sensitive things when you are in the pharmaceutical business, or you are just working with a pharmaceutical client. So you have to understand that what type of medicine, and what are the things you can directly sell without doctor consultant, what are the things that a person can take without the prescription of doctor. Those are the things that you can sell. Other things that are sensitive like sleeping pills, these are the things that is restricted, that is prohibited. Okay. So for health and medicine, while others can be advertised only if the advertiser is Google certified and only target approved country. So definitely for pharmaceutical and healthcare also, local regulation is also important to understand what type of regulation are there, because there are so many drugs that are banned in certain kind of areas. So you have to just take care of these things. Political content, definitely. As I talked about that, as a person, as a marketer, you don't have to bother about what is their ideology, what type of party they follow, and all these things. So you don't have authority to target someone on that thing. And when you talk about political content, then it should be like that. While others can be advertised only, so it is also a sensitive type of things, political content. And if you are working with a client who is a political leader and you are showing ad, then you have to create ad on such kind of way that you cannot claim things, or you cannot respect other people or other political parties. Okay, you have to, if you are just showing the ad of a political party, then it should be like in a valuable based, not abusing someone else. And in Facebook ad you will see that there is a special category, they make a special category for political ads. If you are promoting political services, then they have a special category, and you, for that special category, you have to become a verified user. So when you start creating political ad on Facebook, first they ask to verify yourself. Once you verified, then they will allow you to show the political ad, because these are a sensitive thing. If you promote something bad for someone, then they can easily track you who you are. Okay. Financial services, definitely. I talk about this because so many fraud is happening nowadays on the basis of financial things, financial gains. So whatever you're promoting, and here you can also see that material that is related to investment and cryptocurrency or personalized advice. All this comes to the financial services when you claimed unrealistic things, and you are just making fool out of people. So Google don't allow these things. And definitely you can show ad with some restriction, with values. You may have an investment firm that gives advice to people on how to manage their portfolio, how to manage their money, and where to invest, when to invest, all these things. You can do that, but in a restricted way. Your intention should be like providing value to them. If you are making fraud of people, then definitely Google will ban you from their network. So, so while promoting financial products and services, you must follow state local regulation, and not just for financial product. For everything you are promoting, just make sure that you have just go through the state and local guidelines. What are the rules and regulation of that country, and if these things are available, if these are applicable to sale, and what are the restrictions on that. You have to understand all these things. That's why, as a marketer, you have to understand not just the product, the area, targeted area as well, where you can sell these things, and what are the restriction on these kind of products. Trademark, we talked about that. You cannot just copy the trademark. So mm, so if you are using trademark, then it should belongs to you, not copy of someone else. And definitely, if they complain, if the actual trademark owner complain to Google, you will get harm. And if they take a legal action against them, then definitely it will be problematic to you. legal requirement simply means, or you have to follow all the local regulation and laws that is applicable to that particular area, in terms of business, in terms of Google advertising policies. And Google also follow these things, like if certain kind of things like alcohol is banned in these states, so Google understand these things, Google know these policies, so that's why not a single people on that particular state will see ad for alcohol, because the state government block such things. So restricted ad formats and features. We will see that other kind of ad format as well today, and it says certain kind of ad formats are not applicable in Google, like so other thing also that you have to keep in mind, like you have to make content kid friendly content. Okay. And if you are just promoting the product to children, then it should be kid promoted. It should not violate the policies of human behavior, or in terms of society. As I talked about that, if a user is 15 years of age and you are just showing hookup dating ads to them, then in terms of morality, it is not good, and in terms of showing content, is not good, because Google don't allow these things. And before come to this point, you have to also understand that you have their personal data, you have all the things, all the metrics, and you should use in a particular way with morality as well. If you are just misusing all these data, then definitely you may gain something, but for not a long term, because once Google understand that you are misusing that their platform, their data, then you will get harmed. They can permanently ban you from Google for lifetime. So that's why all these things need to be measured. All these things should be take care of before launching an ad. So editorial simply means how you write. You cannot write like this in a gimmicky way, or like so many people in India, they just use such kind of words, such kind of fonts in their Facebook profile. Definitely, some of you may have seen that. So you cannot use such kind of things on Google Ads, and very generic ads with work faces like buy product here. So these are the things that you can avoid. And destination requirement simply means the URL. Okay, a display URL that doesn't accurately reflect the URL landing page. On previous session, I talked about that the heading of your ad and the heading of your landing page should be relevant, should reflect each other, mirroring. Okay, that people find it relevant when they click your ad and then they comes to your landing page. Then there should be relevance, not like you are talking about one thing on your ad, and when they comes to your landing page, it becomes other things. So you have to keep these things in mind. Sites or app that are under construction, power domain. So don't bring visitors on your site that are still under construction, they are not completed. Power domains means domains that are brought but not in the use. Okay, you brought that domain, but you are not using that. Site that are not viewable in commonly used browsers. So if you are directing user from Google Ad to some website that is banned from some kind of browser, that is not allowed to open on such browser, then definitely you will get harm. Like if you are landing page is not able to open on Google Chrome, then definitely this that particular example comes to this point: sites that are not viewable in commonly used browser. So in perspective of Google Ads, you have to also take care of the landing page, like your landing page is good, relevant, complete with all the features, and can be open all the browsers. Okay. And site that have disabled the browser's back button, these sites belong to forgery. These sites are not there for making their brand. Some of the websites are there that just disable the back button. Once the user comes to their website, they cannot back easily, they have to just close the entire system. So you have to care all these things and avoid such things. So what are the ad format? Definitely, you talked about this. Like you have headlines, description, CTAs, and you have to follow the character limit that you will have for headlines, description, and all these things. And video length limits and the aspect ratio. All the other things are predefined, and you have to follow all these things. And this belongs to ad format. Okay. First, you have to make the headlines, and in Google Ad you have to make not just one headline, for at least 3 to 5 headlines, and you can make up to, I think, 8 headlines as well. And on headline you have to draw the attention of the audience and try to make the emotional connection with them, so that they can be attentive, and they can engage with your ad, so that after engaging with your headline they can go through the description as well. So emphasize the most important relevant selling point. It means USP. You have to just show your USP on headline, that if you are if your shoes can provide service to 10 years, then definitely you can mention in your headline that shoes that last long for 10 years. So you are emphasizing the selling point of your product. Encourage viewers to take actions. Definitely you have to make the CTA, capture your brand image. If you have uh, any particular uh, thing that belongs to your brand, then definitely you can show that persona, the persona of your brand. For example, when I search these things, then this particular ad comes because this person is promoting their service from a long time with the name of a passion prayer. So this particular keyword is belong to this person, and it also becomes his identity. Passionpreneur is definitely a targeted keyword, and you can see here on the heading that he mentioned passionpreneur, because that particular word shows his identity. When someone talked about passionpreneur, that people who may target it from his ad can easily understand whom the person would be, because they may show his ad for multiple times. Now they understand what is it. And another example, like just do it for Nike. This is a simple thing, a tagline. So these are the things that you can use. And after the headlines, you can mention another headlines, sub headlines, you can call it, and you should all these things properly. Like headline 3 has a strong impact on the user. Okay. Or what other, like premium quality, free shipping, and get your free code today. These are the word that triggers the user, and they get convinced that they have to click on that particular link. Description or body. On description section, you have the chance to grab the attention, and you have the chance to just convert that particular person to click on that link. You can provide sufficient information about the ad, about your product, and then you can just convince the user to just click on the link, come to the landing page. What you can show on description, you can show a little bit detail about your product. You can just mention about the customer feedbacks, and what are the advantages of your product, and the statistics as well of the services that you're providing, like how many people are get benefited from your services, your course, and all these things. Pricing information as well. If you are selling something that that's price is specific, then definitely you can show the pricing information, so that people can easily understand that this product is the price of this product is this. They can easily see on the ad. Or if you have any special deal, you can mention on that as well. Landing page and URL. Definitely landing pages and all these URLs contributed to your ad as well. They affect the quality score, and your quality score will affect the ad rank of your Google ads. So you have to take care of these things. Your ads should be short links. And we will learn that display, your Google ad provide a display feature, so that your URL can be shown in an effective way, in a detailed way. Okay, like just like that. This is your website name, and here you can mention the product you are selling.